Hi, I'm Laura Berg, and today I have with me Rachel Lincoln Sarnoff from Mummy Greenest. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, how are you, Laura?
I'm great, thanks. And I want to thank you for joining us again. We actually did an interview a while ago on toxic free cleaning products, and you're back with us today to talk about safe toys for Christmas and buying safe toys, what to look for. I think this is a great topic because as a mom with young kids who put everything in their mouth, I really want to make sure that I'm buying things that are safe for my children.
Absolutely.
So, can you give us some quick tips to things to look for?
Absolutely. Yeah, the government has been trying to regulate this. So in 2008, the US passed the Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act, which was supposed to kind of like close the loop on toys that are imported with things like lead and cadmium.
Right.
Every year there's another story of a big shipment of really toxic toys that slip through and end up in kids' stockings sometimes, and especially for parents with little children who are putting things in their mouths, it's really not fun. So quick ways to eliminate that potential danger or reduce that potential danger. First thing to do, really, really important, check the list of toy recalls for the year. I actually have posted this on Mommy Greenest, and I know you have a link. You'll have a link there to share with everybody.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that list to
Okay.
your blog post on it, and
Yeah,
it has that list.
You can jump from mommygreenest.com to that list and really check those toys and make sure that none of the toys that are on your kids, wish lists are on the recall list too.
Right.
Then you're not going to want to get them. Choose gifts that are made in the U.S. and Canada. I mean, that's kind of we have some more stringent regulations than perhaps some other countries. And then you can seek out ethically made toys. So ethically made is like, this is a whole other level of conversation, but like, fair trade. Look for toys that are made in a way that's not harmful to the environment and also not harmful to the people who are making them. So a lot of the times these toys are, made from wood or cloth or, like there's a great company called Green Toys that recycles plastic milk jugs into BPA-free amazing toys for kids. So those kinds of companies are companies that I like to support with, my dollars. And then if you are looking for, if plastic toys are on your list, just look. I don't have a toy to show you, but like look on the bottom. If you have anything plastic, you see on the bottom there's that little chasing arrow symbol.
Yeah.
So in that arrow, you want to avoid things that are 1, 3, or 6. So 1 and 3 are PET and PVC. Those are both phthalates, and those are even at low level, phthalate exposure is linked to obesity and also asthma, among other things. 6 is styrofoam, and styrofoam is finally, getting the designation it deserves as it's reasonably anticipated to be a carcinogen now. I mean, I'm not going to mince words. For me, that means it probably causes cancer, and we want to avoid that, right? But reasonably anticipated is enough for me. And then finally, look for BPA-free. As I said before, Green Toys BPA-free, but look for that BPA-free label. BPA is a hormone disruptor, and that's really something you want to keep kids away from, especially kids that are putting these things in their mouths.
Right, right. I know in Canada we've banned BPA, so
yeah.
I know the States is probably close behind there, and they're very aware of that. I think that recycling number to look for is really key as well, and easy to do as a parent, because not all parents can shop fair trade, because they do tend to be a bit pricier, which in an ideal world is great, and I do tend to do that. Mm-hmm. But if budget is a concern, that's a really good tip, is to just look on the bottom of toys and check that little arrow and see whether it has the number 1, 3, or 6.
Or 6.
And stay away from those, right?
Yeah, and even like Etsy, for example, has a whole bunch of amazing like handmade cloth, wood, beautiful stuff, but I remember having this conversation with a friend of mine a couple of years ago, and she was a Waldorf mom, and she was like, I got my daughter the beautiful, Waldorf cloth doll that my mother made me, and all she wanted was a Barbie, So you can only you can only go so far. When your kids are littler, you have a lot more control over what, you're bringing into their lives, but I mean, but yeah, try to be aware. And, you know, and like I talk with my kids. My kids are 15, 12, and 7 now. So I
Mm.
talk with them about why maybe these couple of things maybe should not be on our holiday wish lists this year, you know,
Yeah.
because we don't, that's maybe they're not safe or maybe they're just not something we want to support, you know, as a family.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So as far as safety goes and health tips, those are really great. I'm going to put that link to your blog post because it sort of just really sums it up beautifully, and it
Right.
has that link to the recall toys, which
Yeah.
are also really important to check out. Um, I just think that you're an absolute wealth of knowledge when it comes to the whole healthier lifestyle and all of that stuff. Um,
You know?
Now, you just came out with a book, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And I can show it to
Okay,
you.
show it to me. What is it?
It's called The Big List of Things That Suck. It's hard. You know, we're like Skyping and my camera's up here and your face is down here, so I'm constantly going, Laura, where are you? Anyway, okay, so if you can see it,
It's great.
I love this cover.
I love the cover.
Girl. So anyway, The Big List of Things That Suck. It's little, you know, it's like a stocking stuffer book. You know, it's not like a big read. But I made this list. You know, I began this list like 8 years ago, and every time I'd write about cotton, for example, I would always reference, you know, the amount of pesticides that go into cotton production, and this is why organic cotton might be a better choice in some cases. And so I got tired of like blah 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 blah, blah all the time. Right. And so I would just link to this big list page, and it just got huge. So when I started Mommy Greenness this year, I figured I would turn that into an actual book that people could flip through and, you know, maybe get a little information. It's funny, I hope, you know, I try to keep it light and funny, but also deliver some information. And I call it an essential encyclopedia of eco information to help you shop, talk, and live better without annoying your friends. So, hopefully it succeeds. I don't know. I'll send you a copy.
Where can people buy your book?
So you can get it on Amazon. If you go to mommygreenness.com/ebook, you can jump from there to Amazon. It's $4.99. It's a $2.99 download. And, you know, it's just trying to kind of have something fun that people can share that doesn't cost a lot of money and can sort of let other people know, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about, you know, take a look, you know, maybe one for your dad or mom or aunts, you know, that kind of a conversation that may be hard to have without a funny book in your hand.
Right. No, that's awesome. And congratulations. I'm really happy for you. And before I let you go, though, I want to ask you to just share with me again and my audience about the 30-day challenge you have coming up in January.
Okay, so you guys, I'm trying to get Laura to do this, so you should really leave some comments below and tell her that she needs to join the 30-day shop drop challenge in January. So it's super easy to sign up. Just go to mommygreenness.com. You can sign up anywhere. It's free. And basically what I'm doing is creating a community of women in January who all pledge to not buy any new accessories for fashion, you know, clothing, during those 30 days. So the reason that I started this is basically I swap or thrift pretty much all of my clothes, and I have been for years and years. And every time I talk to my friends about it, they're like, oh yeah, that's great, but I could never do that. So I looked into the numbers, and I found that actually the average American woman drops $60 a month on new clothes and dumps 6 pounds of textile waste into the landfill. So if all of us got together and we stopped buying just for 30 days, we could save $10 billion. I know that sounds insane, but it's true. And 1 billion pounds of textile waste just in 30 days. So if you're looking for a New Year's resolution, you know, Laura, this might be for you.
You know what? You had me at save money. You had me there.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm with you. I love thrift store shopping. Yeah. I love it because to me it's like a hunt, and I never know what I'm going to find. And I really can't justify spending money on really fancy clothes and all of that stuff because I like to spend my money on vacations. And if anybody that knows me knows that I travel a lot. Yeah. And that's sort of where I spend my money. But I think it's great. And I mean, January is an easy month to sort of pull in our budgets and not spend, because Christmas usually is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I love that. So you just go to your website. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I think it's fantastic.
And I'll be posting like daily, either through the Mommy Greenest Facebook page or through Twitter, which I'm Rachel L. Sarnoff, if you want to follow me. And then on Mommy Greenest, I'll be posting videos. I have actually some really cool celebrities and an amazing stylist they're going to join me to do some thrift store shopping and swapping videos to share. So
wait. Can I fly to LA and do it with you?
Yes, you totally can. Yes, I'm not kidding. We should do that. That would be really fun.
That would be so fun.
Plus, it'll be like, 10 degrees and it'll be 70 here in January. So you should definitely plan a trip.
Seriously.
So yeah, we're going to do, it's basically creating a community that everybody can have a voice. Everybody can, okay, I really wanted these jeans, but I'm not going to buy them, this, like, trying to kind of support that and have that dialogue start is really something I've wanted to do for a long time. So hopefully we'll get a ton of people involved. And
yeah.
mommygreenest.com/pledge is where you can go to sign up.
All right. Well, all of the links that we talked about, I will put in the description of the video so people can easily click on that. Right. And I'm there. I'm going to go and do it my own self. So awesome. We'll have to do a follow-up in February to see how the month went. And maybe I'll just plan a trip to LA and we'll do it with me.
I heard that. I don't know if you guys all heard it, but I heard it. So she needs to come.
I will. We'll talk. We'll talk when we hang out here. But again, thank you so much for joining us. You're always a pleasure to have on. And as I said, a wealth of knowledge. And I'm not the greenest person, believe me, at all. But I do with children. I tend to be more aware of stuff like this. So talking to you and getting little easy tips are really wonderful.
That's what it's all about. Like, I think you're not or you are. It doesn't, like, I drive a Volvo. I don't, I'm like, I don't care what car you drive or, I just want to share little bits that make it easier. So
yeah.
I think everything makes a difference. That's what
I agree. So thanks again, Rachel. And again, if you have any questions for Rachel, she's very accessible. Please feel free to email her. Her contact information will be on her website. And everybody have a great holiday season.
Happy holidays.
Bye for now.
Healthy, non-toxic shopping.
Bye. Bye, everyone.